Yo, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's Egal Talks Football, and we're back again with another video. There has been absolute meltdowns from what has taken place yesterday after Arsenal dropped points to lost to Newcastle in the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-finals. But there's just so much more that we need to discuss. Of course, Arsenal have now identified who they're going to be potentially bringing in as the next Arsenal sporting director. Obviously, Arsenal also are looking at a role change for what do you call it? For what do you call it? Some of the people at the staff behind the scenes. We're gonna have to see what happens and who's the successor for Edu. Could it be Tomas Rosicky? Also, we have a potential signing on our hands, as Arsenal could be going for a Premier League player, two Premier League players from Brentford. That is, might I add, we're linked to Damsgaard, and we're linked to another player in Mbeumo, and we also have to speak about Alexander Isak. But before we go any further, please do hit that like button, please do hit that subscribe button, and let's get this show started the right way, ladies and gentlemen. You guys already know what it is. People, okay, so we're back again with another video. First things first, I just want to say shout out to everybody in the comment section. How much do you guys honestly think Alexander Isak is worth? Because off the back of yesterday's performance that Arsenal had versus Newcastle, man put on a show, and I genuinely believe he is worth every single penny. If Arsenal have to spend 150 million right now to go get him, I think we should do it. And you know what? We had an opportunity to get him when he was cheaper, and we did not pull the trigger. And we are now going to regret that. As I can show you guys here, this is Alexander Isak's, how much he's worth right now to Newcastle. Apparently, he's worth 150 million to Newcastle, and I think he is the best striker in the Premier League right now. No debate, in my opinion. He is the best striker in the Premier League. Erling Haaland, maybe you could say, is better, but besides Erling Haaland, I don't think there's another player you could say is in that category at this moment in time. Now, the next thing we also have to talk about is the fact that we already had potential opportunity of signing Alexander Isak before he went to Newcastle, and we really messed this up. Now, people always say Mikkel Arteta is the reason why we don't sign these players. I would disagree, because it's not like Mikkel Arteta is going to go out of his way to say, yeah, we have Alexander Lacazette, I'm in a top 4 battle, and we don't need to sign him right now. We can wait. Because the valuation is too much. But Arsenal reportedly deemed that the release clause that he had in his contract was not to his true market value, and therefore they did not trigger the release clause at the time, as this was in 2022 February. That transfer window, we were interested in Alexander Isak, we didn't go for him. So it just goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, what happened there. Like, it's honestly big regrets there. I'm not gonna lie to you. Arsenal did not have the foresight to see that Alexander Isak would develop into what he is right now, and Newcastle pulled the trigger. And even in the summer, we ended up going for Jesus over Isak, and we really did miss out big time on a massive player that could have benefited us massively right now. The club probably regrets it. Mikkel Arteta, everyone at the club probably regrets not pulling the trigger earlier on Alexander Isak. Now, enough about Alexander Isak, enough about the Newcastle game. Time to talk about some of the other stuff that's going on. Of course, Dani Olmo looks like he's going to agree a deal with Barcelona, so we can forget about that. Apparently, there is a backup for Martin Odegaard is being spoken about, and the backup is Damsgaard. We're speaking about Mikkel Damsgaard as the potential backup for Martin Odegaard. And there has been rumors about Nkunku coming to Arsenal, but I don't want to see Nkunku coming to Arsenal, in my opinion. Next, there's also rumors about Bryan Mbeumo. Bryan Mbeumo, Arsenal have Bryan Mbeumo on their short list of summer transfer targets and are looking to strengthen their wing position, and understand that he's under contract until 2026. This is a man who already has 13 goals and 3 assists this season in the Premier League and could massively help us. He's going for around 45 to 50 million. That's what they're rumored at. And I think I would take that in a heartbeat. I think that would be a decent deal, especially in a January window where we need attacking players. We surely cannot go without signing somebody, or else that's just negligence. We cannot stay and wait until the end of the summer, until summer, to go and get a signing sorted. Also, we've been linked to PSG's King Lee In. Uh, on numerous sources, but Fabrizio Romano has reported that despite interest from two Premier League clubs, PSG are not considering Kang-in Lee to leave in January. Now, there is rumors about who our potential successor to Edu is, and rumor has it that the leading candidate for the next Arsenal director is Tomas Rosicky, and he's emerged as a top candidate for the role, and he has been in consistent communication with the club and hierarchy as they are looking for a successor for Edu. In case you don't know, Tomas Rosicky is currently been employed by Tomas Rosicky is currently employed by none other than Sparta Prague. He took over Sparta Prague, and he's rebuilt the side. He's been working with the youth academy to try to develop them. He's been working alongside that Spartak Prague team. They finished second. They finished third. They've been working and signing young players to improve the squad, and they even went on to eventually win the league for the first time since 2014. And they did it with a bunch of academy graduates, young developed players, and they did it. And what's it called? He has been a massive part of it. So with him potentially being part of Arsenal's vision for the future, I wonder what it has. But I wouldn't be as excited about a Rosicky joining as I would have been if we ended up getting Brentford's current director, or if we ended up getting the guy Campos, or we ended up getting the Real Sociedad director, who've done it at a much higher level. But fair enough, Rosicky has the experience. The only question I have is how much loyalty does he have to Arteta, and how much loyalty does he have to the club? Because last thing I want is something dangerous, like a player having a massive connection to the manager, that and then not being able to actually make the tough decisions if need be. If we ever do need to sack Arteta, will Rosicky's relationship with Arteta negatively impact that? This is the questions that I have. But yeah, that's besides the point, though. That's besides the point. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Rosicky. I'm not really a fan of Rosicky joining Arsenal. I'm really questioning it. And another thing is, based on how we performed yesterday, I have some major questions over how our attack was even how are we second in the league? Like, how are we really second in the league with the attack that's this poor? How are we third in the Champions League with an attack this poor? Like, really and truly, our attack needs to be solved. And by the time we fix our attack, we could have a problem where our midfield needs to be sorted also, because Partey and Jorginho could be leaving soon, and that's just going to mess everything up. But one thing I want to say is, newsflash to the Arsenal fans: just because Mikel Arteta is in the role of manager doesn't necessarily mean he actually has the responsibility of the recruitment. The recruitment is on Edu, Richard Garlick, Tim Lewis, and these guys to get it sorted. And the executives like Josh Kroenke, they're the ones that actually okay everything. So we're going to have to wait and see if they actually do it. But right now, we're waiting and seeing. We got to wait and see what we end up doing in the upcoming days, months, until the window's open, because I hope we can get a transfer done. But it does look like the season is winding down, and we might not even get a chance to get ourselves back into it. It's very demoralizing. Hopefully we can continue to kick on. But yeah, that's enough for today, ladies and gentlemen. Not much more to be said. So would you take Damsgaard at Arsenal? Would you take how much would you pay for Alexander Isak? Would you pay the 150 in the summer? And also, what do you guys think about Bryan Mbeumo for about 45 million? And also Tomas Rosicky, does he make sense? Let me know.